Craps Tutorial Part 6, Prop Bets, Hardways, and the Field.
Alright, so last time we took a look at place bets, buy bets, and lay bets. And now we're going to finish off by looking at all the other bets that I've yet to mention. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the field bet right here in the center of the table. And it's pretty easy. Actually, all of these bets here are pretty self explanatory, but the field is basically a single roll proposition bet, and it wins by rolling any of the numbers that you see here. 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So, and the 2 and the 12 in this case pays double your bet. Every other number will pay you at even money or 1 to 1. Now, ideally, you want if you're going to make this field bet, ideally you want to have the 12 pay triple. You'll see that on some craps tables at some casinos. Uh, if that's the case, then it cuts the house edge in half. But we're going to go ahead and just for show, we're going to do a few rolls here on the field. So you can make any bet starting at the minimum. We'll do $10 on the field. And we hit a 10. 10's one of the numbers. And we win even money, $10. That was easy. And the bet is always resolved on the next roll. 5 is hit, we lose. So pretty self-explanatory right there. So the house advantage for the field bet is 5.56%, which is pretty high compared to the ones we've already seen thus far. If the 12 pays triple instead of double, it cuts it down to, 2.78%. Yeah, so if you see that, then that makes it mildly better to play. But of course, there's still much better bets on the table that you can make that we've already gone through. So that was the field bet, pretty easy. Now we're going to move over to the bets here that are in the center of the table, or in this case, they're to your left, but we're only seeing half a table here. The typical craps table actually has 2 of these layouts on either side with the proposition bets here in the center. So you've got the Hardways. We'll go ahead and look at the Hardways now. You can see 4 different pairs here. A pair of 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, which are also known as hard 2, or hard 4, hard 4, hard 6, hard 8, and hard 10. So what are hard numbers, or what are Hardways? Hardways are when you roll a specific combination of the dice, as a double, which is known as the hard way, quotes, of rolling that particular number, as opposed to the easy way. The easy way is when you roll a number that, for example, that's not a double. So, for example, 2 and 2 is 4, but also 1 and 3, and 3 and 1. Those are 2 easier ways to roll a 4 than the 2 and the 2. For a 6, the hard way is rolling 2 3s, because rolling it as 2 3s is much harder than rolling it as 4 and 2, 2 and 4, 5 and 1, 1 and 5. Those are the easy ways of rolling a 6. So how do you bet and win on the hard way? So you can bet starting at the minimum. Let's do $5 on each of the hard ways, just to show you guys. It wins when you roll exactly the number as shown on the layout. So you have to roll it the hard way. So for a hard 8, you have to roll exactly a pair of 4s, and it'll win. The bet loses whenever you roll the easy way. So this bet on the hard 8 will lose on an easy 8. So if you roll a 5 and a 3, this bet will lose. And it will also lose if you roll a 7. So any 7 and any easy way of that number will lose that bet. But if you roll it the hard way first before any of those other combinations, then you'll win. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Not good. 7 out. They all lose on a 7. Yep, as I mentioned. Let's go ahead and try again. Just want to show you what it's like. A 4 is rolled, but it's rolled the easy way. It's a 1 and a 3 as opposed to a 2 and a 2. So that is a loss on the hard 4. Oh, and keep in mind, whenever you're making bets here, I do want to mention this now. If you're making any of the hardways or any of the proposition bets below, you have to, you cannot make them yourself. Just like you have to toss, just like with the place bets up tier, where you have to put your bet in the come area and tell the dealer what you want to make your bet on. For the center bets, you have to get the attention of the stick man, the person who controls the die, who has the dice and gives it to the shooter. You have to toss your bet over towards the stick man and tell him, give me a hard 4. Toss it towards him and he'll make the bet for you as shown. $11, nothing happens. So any odd number isn't going to affect the bet here. Easy 4, once again. That's a loss on the hard way. So we're going to continue betting and see if we can get one of the hard ways to come up. It's a 9. Craps 3. 7 out. Yep. You'll see why I actually don't like these bets personally. Okay, there we go. We've rolled a hard 4, so the payoff is 7-1. They actually list the payoffs right here. Obviously, it's to get your attention to say, oh, look at those big payoffs you can get on these numbers. So, in order to get you to make those bets. But as you can see, these are sucker bets, and you will know why. So a hard 4 pays 7 times your bet. So I had a $5 bet. It pays 35. As you can see, just won 35. For a total on there is 40. We'll go ahead and leave the rest there and see if we can get another hard way to come up. Nope, we lost on the 6 because we rolled it the easy way. Hard 6 is down, the stickman may say. Easy 6 again. So we're looking for a hard 10 or a hard 8. Oh, hard 4 came again, but I didn't bet it. Okay, so actually while we're waiting for the hard ways to resolve, you can, and keep in mind, you can also remove the bet at any time. Those are bets that can be removed. Place bets, buy bets, lay bets, and odds on come bets can be removed at any time. Or odds on the pass line and don't pass as well can be removed at any time. Yeah, as well as hardways can be removed at any time. So just letting you know that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to other bets while we're waiting for these to resolve. We got. Actually, let me bring up the house advantage before we move on. The house edge for a hard 6 or a hard 8. So these two up here. The payoff is 9-1. So you get paid nine times your bet in winnings plus your original bet back for a total of 10. The house edge is 9.09%. That's the reason why I don't like these bets. They have a very high house edge. Puts that on par with slot machines, to be honest. And the hard 4 and 10, it's even worse. The house edge there is 11.11%. It gets paid at 7-1. So 11.11%, that's like, for you slot players out there, it's like having a payback percentage on of, say, 88%, 89%. It's like having a payback percentage of 89% on a slot machine. Like playing a penny machine almost. That's how these are. Yeah, the Hardways have really high house advantage. The casino will love them if you bet them. A lot of people bet them, but uh, there are so many better bets on the craps table. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the remaining proposition bets. So we got here all of these here that I'm pointing with my mouse. These are all one roll bets. So we're just going to go through them here. A bet on snake eyes. Bet on craps 2 or snake eyes. It wins when you roll that snake eyes exactly on the next roll, and it loses on every other number. The payoff is 30-1. True odds are 35-1, but you're getting paid less than true odds, and the house advantage there is, if I can find it here. Actually, I think I have it memorized. It's like 13.37%, something like that. Here we go. It is 13.89%. Yeah, 13.89%. Same thing with the 12 because they have the same probability of rolling and the same payoff. So if you bet on the 2 or if you bet on the 12, you win if that number comes exactly on the next roll. If you lose on any other number, the payoff is 30-1 and the house edge is 13.89%, which is pretty bad. For a craps 3 or an 11, the probability is the exact same. There's 2 ways to roll a 3, 2 ways to roll an 11, and there's total of 36 combinations of the dice. The payoff is 15-1, but the true odds I think are, what are they? They're 17-1, I think. You get paid at 15-1. The house edge is 11.11%. And then you've got any craps. Any craps is betting that the next roll is going to be either 2, 3, or 12. Any other number lose, it pays at 7-1, and the house edge is 11.11%. The horn bet is a combination bet. It basically is a one bet on each of the 2, 3, 11, or 12. So you make it in multiples of $4. So it's like it's $1 on the 2, the 3, the 11, or the 12. Some craps layouts, you won't see it here, have a horn high bet. So in which you bet an equal number on each plus an additional unit on the one that's high. Another bet on the number. So let's say you give $5 to this stick man. You say horn high yo. So that means it's a $1. So that $5 is divided as $1 on the 2, $1 on the 3, $1 on the 12, and $2 on the 11. The slang for 11 in craps is yo. So you hear the term, $5 horn high yo, it means you're making a horn bet with an additional dollar on the 11, $2 on the 11, and $1 on all the other bets. So that's what a horn high yo is. You may also be heard, horn high box cars, horn high snake eyes. You get the gist of it. So we'll go ahead and just make one bet on one of these numbers. Let's see if we get lucky. Let's put $5 on snake eyes for show. And you can see it lost immediately because it wasn't snake eyes, it was a 6. And finally, you notice also the C and E bets here on this side. So the C means craps, and it's the same as any crap. So betting $5 there will be the same as betting on any craps. Pay 7-1 if a 2, 3, or 12 comes up. You'll notice dealers will be putting your bets here. So instead of putting it on the any crap space, they'll put it on the C portion of these C and E bets. The E stands for 11. So a bet on one of the E circles is the same as a bet on the 11, pays 1501, same house edge, etc. Dealers, you may also see dealers putting the bet in between the two circles, which I guess is the same as making the horn bet, because it covers the C and E, the craps and the 11 for the horn bet. And you notice there's multiple of these, so the stick man will keep track of where your position is at the table and make your bet accordingly. It's to like remind, okay, so the person here represents the person sitting on this side of the table, standing here. This one represents the person standing here, etc. So that's what those are. And the last one we'll take a look at is any 7. Self-explanatory. You're betting on the next roll being a 7. Any other number loses. The payoff is 4-1. True odds are 5-1. And guess what the house advantage is on the any 7 bet? 16.67%. It is the highest house advantage bet on the table, meaning that it is the worst bet to make. Don't make this bet. Just don't make the bet on any 7. So that is that. I'm just going to go ahead and take these down. That was pretty much the entire craps table. We've gone through all the bets. I guess one more to mention we didn't go through yet is this one, the big 6 and the big 8. Those you probably noticed this, and I haven't mentioned them yet. Well, the big 6 is a bet on the 6, and it wins when you roll a 6 before a 7. It loses on a 7, it wins on a 6. Same thing with the 8. When you bet on it, you're betting that an 8 will be rolled before a 7. And it wins when the 8 is rolled, and it loses when a 7 is rolled. Every other number doesn't matter. And, well, wait a minute. That sounds like a place bet on the 6 or the 8. It's the exact same type of bet, but guess what? The payoff when you win on these bets here, the big 6 or the big 8, it's even money. While with a place bet on the 6 and 8, you get paid at 7-6. So these bets are just here for suckers. The big 6 and big 8. The only people who make those bets are people who obviously are brand new, not brand new to the game. And I want to warn you: do not make, if you're going to make a bet on the 6 or the 8, make place bets. Put them up here. Don't put them here because it pays less than paying up here. It's even money on these two bets, which increases the house edge to 9.09%, as opposed to a payoff of $7 for every $6 bet, a little bit more than even money. The house edge is only 1.52%. Place bets on the 6 and 8, not the big 6 or the big 8. So those were all the bets at the table. So the next part 7, we're going to take a look at what I consider to be the best ways to play craps, and so be sure to stay tuned for that.
To watch the next part of my craps tutorial, select the option on the right side of the screen. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon to be notified for the next video. I'll see you there. Go make it happen.